It's no secret that World Edit is the ultimate tool when it comes to building in Minecraft, but I bet you there's still a couple of things that you don't know. So today I wanted to go over a couple of things that you may or may not know in Minecraft World Edit. If you are well versed in Minecraft World Edit, odds are you're probably going to know most of these, but there still may be a couple you don't know. Now the first thing you may not know is how to place a block just floating in the air. You may think that all you have to do is just come down here and build straight up from the ground and then just delete the blocks underneath it and you have a floating block, but there's actually a much easier way. All you have to do is type /up the number of blocks that you want to go up, so I'll just do 1 and it will go ahead and it will place a floating glass block right in the middle of the air, and then you can go ahead and build off from there. Now the next command you may or may not know about as well, and this is actually a command that I didn't learn for a very long time, and that's how to paste without interrupting other blocks. So first things first, we'll make ourselves a selection, so we'll just select right here and then we'll go down here and we will select right here, and then what we will do is we will just stand right here, we will copy this selection, and then let's say that we want to rotate it 90 degrees, so we're kind of making ourselves a little bit of a cliff face and we want to place it over here. But what we don't want to do is kind of interrupt all of the blocks that are already there. So the easiest way to do that is to come find your place where you want to paste it and do /paste, and instead of just hitting enter, you do /A. And what this will do is it will go ahead and paste that in, but it won't break any of the blocks that are around. And this is really helpful if you're trying to build structures where there's a lot of symmetry, but you need to flip or rotate things, but you don't want to break the blocks that are already there. So pasting with the -A actually is super helpful, and for some reason I never knew about it, but now knowing about it, it's so helpful. Now the next one you may not know about is the /replace near command. A lot of you should know what the replace command does, where you make a selection and you want to, like, let's say change the grass to stone, but you can actually do the /replace near command, and what this does is it selects a radius. So we're going to do a radius of like 20 blocks, and then we're going to go from grass to stone, and what that's going to do is it's going to, in a 20 block radius, it's going to go ahead and change all of the grass blocks to stone. And why this is useful is instead of having to make a selection over there and a selection over there, it just is very much more efficient and is super helpful. Now the next command is super helpful for building any kind of custom terrain, and the command I am talking about is the /overlay command. Now a lot of you may know the technique in Minecraft World Edit to build custom terrain. You kind of take sand, you build all the sand, you kind of morph it the way you want, you change the sand to stone, and then afterward you lay a layer of sand on top of that, then you change that sand to dirt, and then do the same thing, put another layer of sand and change that to grass. Now that is the long way to do, and that's actually the way I used to do it. But now with this new command, all you have to do is make a selection here, make a selection here of your area, and do /overlay, and then just do a block, and I'm going to do dirt, and you can see it just places dirt right on top of that. And now all we have to do is go ahead and make another selection, selecting this whole thing, and then just do overlay again, and this time we'll do grass, and you can see it made the really cool custom terrain in literally 10 seconds, where instead if we were doing the grass and sand technique, this would have taken so much longer, and the overlay command is a time saver. Now the next thing you may not know is actually two separate different commands. So we're going to do /position 1 here, and then we're going to do /position over here. And a lot of you may know how to obviously set things. So if we do /set stone, you can see it makes a big non-hollow cube, so it's filled in. But let's say we wanted that cube to be hollow. The command for that is actually faces stone instead of set stone, and what you'll now notice is that the inside of this is hollow. Let's say that we wanted to just make some walls. The literal command for that is /wall. And why this is a time saver, instead of having to select a point here and select a point there and then set the wall and then select a point there and select a point there and set that wall, it's a lot quicker because you can just make a cube selection and then go ahead and make the walls or the faces, and it just is overall a time saver. Now honestly, that's probably something that you guys knew, but I think it's super helpful for those of you that may be new to World Edit. Now the next one you guys may or may not know, and do you ever get to the point where you're building and you're kind of just trying to count blocks and you're trying to do math in your head? Let's say that you have to build something something that's 15 blocks high, and then it's like 20 blocks this way, and you really want to know how many blocks that's going to be in total. Like, what's 15 times 20? So you're probably just whipping out your calculator on your phone, you're doing 15 times 20, or you're doing it off the top of your head, but you can actually use a calculator in the game. And the command for that is /calc, and then you can just do 15 times 20, and then just press enter, and it'll actually say it in chat. It's 300. I don't know how often you'll actually remember to use that command or will actually use that command, but I think it's something very interesting that Worldlet has to offer. Now, the next set of commands is actually super helpful when you're building inside or building the inside of an object. Now, this is actually a series of commands. So the couple commands I'm talking about, let's say that you want to go through a wall above you, but you don't want to go ahead and break that. All you have to do is to /ascend, and it will bring you to the next highest point. And now let's say you want to do the opposite. All you have to do is /descend, and it will bring you down through one layer. And then the same thing, let's say that you want to go through a wall. It's literally /through, and it will bring you to the next spot ahead. Now, as you can see, it said no free spot ahead. It does have to be a certain thickness. It can't be super thick. So let's say we're gonna go with like 2 blocks right here. If we do /through, you can see it just jumps us to the other side. And then let's say that you're on the bottom of a build and you really want to get to the top, but you don't want to go through that layer. All you do is do /seal, and it'll bring you to the top of the build, and it'll actually place a glass block underneath you. Now, do you ever get stuck inside of something and want to get out without having to break your way out? So let's say we had ourselves a sphere and we placed it, and it was stone, and it was 5 wide, and we were inside of it. You can see that we're currently inside of this right now, but let's say we want to get out. All you have to do is do /unstuck, and it will bring you outside of the build that you're inside of. And our next one, you may also not know. As some of you guys may know, Minecraft is a chunk-based game, meaning that there is 16 by 16 chunks of blocks throughout the entire game. Basically, the game is a grid system of chunks. And what these chunks determine are different spawn zones for different things, such as you can have a spawn chunk where slimes will only spawn in said chunk, or like emeralds, you'll have only emerald chunks where only emerald ore will spawn. But in Worldlet, I don't know how often you'll need this, but if you want to select the entire chunk, you just do /chunk, and it will select the chunk that you're in, and now you can manipulate that. So let's say you want to cut away everything in that chunk, you can just do /cut, and it takes everything from ground to the top out that's inside that chunk. Now, honestly, I don't know how useful that will be, but it is something that you have available to you. And the next one is super useful if you are building large things and you need to jump around from place to place, and you don't want to have to worry about flying all the way over there. So let's say that we really wanted to get over to that little floating island over there. All we have to do is do /jump to while looking at it, and it will jump us and teleport us over to that area we were just looking at. And we're gonna go ahead and end off with probably one of my favorite commands to use in Worldlet outside of the normal commands, and you honestly probably will know what this command is, and that is the /stack command. And I love this command because it really allows us to build those repetitive things a lot quicker. So how to use that command is all you have to do is make yourself a selection of something, and then you just look in one of the directions and do /stack, and then you can do it as many times as you want. So let's say we want to stack it 1 this way. You can see it will take everything that was right here and duplicate it 1 this way. Now let's say that we want to go farther than that. Let's say we want to go like 4 this way. You can see it now, it places 4 of this. So if you're building very repetitive builds, this is super helpful because all you have to do is build 1, and then instead of copying and pasting it and walking over and pasting, you can just stack the entire thing, and you can do this in any direction. So let's say we want to do 4 this way, or let's say that we want to do 4 looking up. It's just super helpful, and you can build something very quickly. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys want me to do some more Worldlet videos about tips and tricks and things that you may not know about Worldlet, definitely let me know down below. I'm kind of tempted to make a video basically explaining every single command that Worldlet has to offer and what exactly that command does, because honestly, I use Worldlet in almost every single build that I do because it just speeds up the process so much, and it just makes it so much easier to build because you don't have to worry about placing so many blocks by hand. But if you guys did find this video helpful, definitely let me know again down below. And while you guys are down there, might as well hit that subscribe button. But as always, guys, I love you all. See you guys next time. Peace out.